Namaste. Welcome to Wise Owl Career Guide. Today we have somebody who has traveled in various sectors through his journey as a corporate person. Let's welcome Mr. Sudarshan Banerjee and hear from him his journey in the last 15-20 years, what all he has experienced, which all fields he's worked in. Welcome, Sudarshan.
Hi, Neha. So great to connect with you. Hi.
Hi. So Sudarshan, usually I introduce the educational background of my guest, but I thought I would let you do that.
So obviously I'm not so educated. So I am I'm a computer science graduate and then I did my MBA in marketing, loved marketing and loved computer science for what it had to offer, right?
Okay.
And that's how I started.
From computer science to marketing or management, why the shift? Because
So I guess, Neha, to be very frank, computer science was like the basis, right? And MBA was something which showed me the way. So hence, obviously, those are two different, aspects or perspectives of life. Computer science actually taught me how to think logically, how to actually analyze a lot of data, right? And MBA actually taught me how to get into business, right? How to understand the P&L, how to understand top line, how to understand the bottom line. And when I could, mix the both of them, I guess I thought I'll be the winner. But yes, we do had a lot of, what do we say? We did have a lot of hiccups, but yes, I'm here now.
okay. So Sudarshan, what was the first job like? Was it
Um,
computers or your management?
you're absolutely correct, obviously. So being a computer science graduate and always and trust me, when I say this, I feel so funny. So I was always a first class kind of a guy. I always used to get a first class. So I thought, yeah. So I'm a computer science graduate, right? So let me do something on computer science. And with the MBA degree, and I was a master's in business management. So I thought, why not get into this, right?
Okay.
And I actually traded into the territory. But to be very frank, it was just after that, dot-com bubble and which had burst by the way that by that time. So I think 2000 to 2002, that was when the whole thing was happening. And I just passed out from my MBA in 2003. So obviously I was trying to find a place for myself, right? And so I was thinking that I'll get into corporate sales kind of thing in the IT and ITES, right? And which will actually give me that push into the next level, right? But to be very frank, it didn't work out so well.
Okay.
So that was one of my first learnings in life. Whatever you think will happen may not happen. For a lot of people, it may happen, and for a lot of people, it may not happen. But that doesn't matter, right? It's
Right.
just a step. It's a step. It's like a hiccup. Either you go forward or you just get stuck. You just move forward, right? So that is what happened to me. And then I actually joined into a company called so we obviously with all these trends, and then I joined a company called Asian PPC, which was into automotive paints, right?
Mhm.
And they were actually selling. So I joined as a territory sales executive.
Mhm.
I had the regions of Bihar, Jharkhand, and Chhattisgarh, and I was supposed to sell paint machines to dealers and distributors. And I just wrong. I just found my mojo,
Okay.
right? I just found my mojo. I thought, whoa, this is what I'm born for. So, and from that point, I just started loving channel sales. That's how it happened.
So Sudarshan, after channel sales, have you been in channel sales throughout, or did you take a shift, or what was the second thing that you moved on to?
So great, very nice question, Neha. Actually, the thing is, so obviously I was with Asian PPG like for quite some time, and obviously channel sales was something which I love. But then obviously, as you know, in a career, you also need to look at the growth and also look at the monetary, benefits, right?
Right.
So obviously, I then moved on to onto the financial sector, and I joined a company called SBI Cards, or rather G Capital, if I may say that,
Mhm.
and that is somewhere which I actually spent 10 years of my life.
Wow.
So actually, I started off. So again, so I started off with a team of around 20 people. People said this guy, he's not even done anything, right? And he's just a newbie. He's he's come from a channel management kind of a portfolio.
Hmm.
But from that, then there was this bubble which burst of the from the financial sector, right? And I was the only one who was left in GSBA cards. And when I left GSBA cards after around 10 years, I used to handle 600 people, and I love that part. You know,
Okay.
the credit card is something which is one of the toughest sales which happens, and I was proud to be a part of that.
Okay, so from selling paint machines in a channel sales, environment to a direct B2B, I would say a high involvement, sales. How did that transition happen? What were the challenges that you faced? And is it easy to do this switch?
Again, a good question, right? Yeah. So selling is about being very transparent. So this is something which I've understood in my life. The best thing is to be transparent, right? Any sales you make, it's like being transparent. So when I was into, channel sales, I used to go to my wholesalers and distributors and tell them that this is what you get, right? This is what you are getting. This is the value add that you are getting, right? And it's the synergistic relationship. So a lot of other people would say, why are you not doing this? Why are you not doing that? But I felt that, and trust me, in Asian PPG, I was the best performer for the time when I was there in East.
Okay.
So it was always transparency which helped. Now, when I moved into a financial sector, which was actually SBI cards or GSBI cards, the same thing which happened. So my people or the people I had to, who were my customers were my people, my team.
Right.
So just to show them the right way, okay, just follow the process, just follow the signs. So I feel that sales is a science. Just follow the signs. You need to do 100 calls per day. If you do 100 calls per day, you get around 10 prospects. If you get 10 prospects, you at least get 3 leads. If you get 3 leads, you at least actually close up around 1.5. So 1.5 people. So it's an approximation. So at the end of the month, you close around 30 into or 20 into 1.5. So 30 people. FMCG also, it was the same thing. The number of people you visit, the top of the funnel, that is what mattered. And you follow up with
Okay.
that. So it's the same thing across industries, whether it's trade cards, whether it's like, FMCG, it's e-commerce, it's the same thing. Hit the top of the funnel, and then you get to the core.
Okay. So after SBI cards, what was next for you?
So obviously, it was a sad journey when I left SBI card. A lot of, my farewell letters to people, and they didn't want to leave me. A lot of sad notes, exchange around. But I went to make my trip, and I tried to imbibe a lot of things which I was doing in sales. Right, I joined into a Salesforce effectiveness team, which was like to, as I told you, which was like to, maximize the output of a sales team. And how do you do that? as I told you, right, just
Hmm.
now.
Right.
And obviously, with the tech revolution happening in India, I also did a change management. I tried to, automate a lot of processes. So the sales team used to, get a used to be boggled and were a lot of paperwork and all. I took that away from them and I automated their processes. So
Okay.
currently, obviously, we do have automated make my trip to around 90-95%. So people just do their work. They just, use something of a, SaaS, so software as a services kind of a thing. And I cannot give you the name because of,
Obviously,
uh,
I can
yeah,
understand privacy
right,
policies and everything.
correct. But they are happy now. They can only concentrate on the constructive work, and the rest are taken care of the system. So whatever we had learned in the last 15, 16 years, we could implement on the system.
Okay. So, Sudarshan, just for our understanding, how easy it is to make these kind of switches, from one segment, from channel sales to financial segment to actually getting into strategy of things. Is it easy?
Neha, can I tell you something?
Sure.
What do you think is experience? So experience is nothing but understanding things better and faster, right? So
Right.
all businesses run on the same thing, on the same pillars. One is the top line, one is the bottom line, and the third is the operations, right? So for me, and trust me, when I say this, I incorporate both the brick and mortar companies as well as the e-commerce companies.
Right.
The basis of any business is the same. It is how you understand it and how fast you understand it, right? So migrating from one business to the other
Hmm.
is normally pretty easy, provided you understand these three things: the top line, the bottom line, and the operations.
No. Okay. So my question is something different here, Sudarshan. My question
Okay.
is that switch or sharing your understanding will come at a time when you're actually sitting on with a for a face-to-face interview. In
Correct.
the current scenario, the industry and the automation of processes has moved so much that
Hmm.
your CVs are shortlisted through programs. There is no more a person
Oh,
who is
great,
sitting
great.
and
Yeah, yeah.
going through the CVs. So for a person who is currently in channel sales and wants to move into some other kind of sales or wants to move into a strategic role, how do they get to that level of face to face interaction with the interviewer is what my question is, because that's where a lot of people are facing issues.
So Neha, actually differ from you from that point. So when I joined Goibo and Make My Trip, right, it was an e-commerce company. I was into financial services, right?
Correct.
You just need to get the basics right. Whenever somebody is interviewing you, or whenever you are just putting in the CV, just
Hmm.
say what you're doing. And if you can just get those building blocks right, till the time you have those building blocks right, people
Okay.
will actually get you. I am again, to be very frank, I am only talking about business development roles or product roles, or for that matter, operations roles, right?
Hmm.
Technicals, obviously, technicals, coders, I am not saying that, but
Right.
for BD, for product, and for operations, right? You just need to know your current business, because it is a process oriented kind of a, what do I say? It's a gamut of processes, right?
Right.
So if the employer understands that you do understand your current processes, they will also understand that you are a guy whom they can invest on, and whom they can depend on getting their processes right, or whatever their current processes are, they can, this guy can take it forward.
Right.
So It's not the skill set which they are having right now. So I'll be very so it's if in a one line if you can I can put it, it's
Mhm.
the attitude which matters. The
Okay.
aptitude is something which people would learn, but obviously has to learn very quickly.
Okay.
Attitude is something you have to learn. And
Mhm.
Joe, whatever is your earlier company where you're working, you have to understand those processes at a micro level. That's my only point.
Mhm.
And you have to be confident. I don't think, and trust me from my own experience, I was someone from a NBFC background. I was selling credit cards.
Right.
I joined Make My Trip Go as a audit head because I knew the processes. I knew each and every process that the company was running and how to have those checkpoints, how to actually do a due diligence and increase the efficiency of the system, and that is what they like and they wanted to replicate. So cross pollination is something which the new generation of companies or e-commerce companies are actually wanting nowadays. So I don't think it's a challenge.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Sudarshan, so after Go IBIBO, what is your current role and what is it that you're working on now?
Uh, okay. So obviously after a 7.5 years kind of a stint with go Ibo and make my trip. So I have ventured on my own business consulting business. Currently I am developing a product which is like going so it's like a globally it's like a $50 billion market whereby it's called account receivables. So I'm getting into that. I'm developing that product for the company, right?
Mhm.
And I think the future is bright. So obviously with the experience which I've got from sales for the effectiveness, from product, so I have got into this stage whereby I'm developing this product and I look forward to it.
Awesome. So Sudarshan, tell us if there was one tip to the youngsters who are, still thinking about which stream to go into or what kind of work they want to do.
Hmm.
What is it that, one advice that you would give them to keep in mind to be a successful person in the field of sales or
So
marketing for that matter, product
can I
development?
can I quote a film? Is it allowed?
Absolutely. Yeah,
So
sure.
I still remember that film Three Idiots, where
Okay.
Baba Ramchod Das Chanchar, by the way, it's a very difficult name to spell, said, "Hey, do what you love." Right? I know in the current scenario of things, it's very difficult.
Mhm.
So, if possible, do what you love. I agree fully with that because what I do, I love. Agar if you're not loving, then the second option is that either you look for a job one, else actually a lot of things actually you can love it. You have to get into the depth. So the details is in the depth, right? And secondly, what I understand and which I think is very much relevant for everyone is that nothing is permanent, right? So I still remember one of my one of my previous employees telling me, "Sir, I have not got a promotion. This guy who was actually junior to me got a promotion." So I used to tell him, "Bro, nothing is permanent. Trust me, this guy has now grown to be a senior VP, right?" And he just tells me, "Sir, what you said was correct." So hence, nothing is permanent, right? Just gun for it, and what I would say is just embrace the journey and have a winner's mindset. That's it.
Okay.
Simple. Have a winner's mindset. Just embrace the journey. So one hiccup, one setback. Don't think everything is gone. It's just like one road blocker, one speed breaker, right? Just go
Right.
forward. After this, you just cross other people on the speed breaker only. That's the opportunity you have. So just get into the opportunities, understand the opportunities. Don't look at the negatives.
That was actually a very sound and a very great advice. Thank you
Thank you
so
so
much,
much.
Sudarshan, for talking to us today.
Thank you so much, Neha. Thank you for giving me this platform, to, speak from my heart. A lot of things it would be pretty unorthodox, right? But thank you so much for giving me that platform.
Thank you so much, Sudarshan. So that was Mr. Sudarshan Banerjee sharing with us his corporate journey and the kind of switches he made. What he said about anything that you face which you find to be too big and too, restricting or making you feel low or giving you that feeling that you not achieved or gotten what you actually deserve, getting demotivated from that is something that you have to just take it as a speed breaker on the road of your own life journey, of your own career path. Because the minute you start giving up is when actually the game gets over. So don't do that. Be thorough in whatever you're doing. You can never grow in sales or any other function if you don't understand the in-depth, the complete in and out working of those processes in the department that you are. I hope you enjoy this session that we had with him. Do let us know if you have any questions or queries. We'll answer them. You can put them down in the comments below. Also, please do like, share, and subscribe the channel. Thank you.